England's chief medical officer says a new strain of COVID-19 identified in the UK can spread more quickly, and urgent work is underway to confirm that it does not cause a higher mortality rate. Italy is imposing a nationwide lockdown over Christmas and the New Year as it tries to halt the sharp rise in its own coronavirus infections. Italians will only be allowed to travel for work, health or emergency reasons on a limited number of days. Americans will soon have a second coronavirus vaccine developed by the company Moderna after it was approved by the US Food and Drug Administration. Distribution of almost 6 million doses is expected this weekend, with vaccinations possible as early as Monday. Hundreds of schoolboys have been reunited with their parents in Nigeria after they were seized in a mass abduction from their school.
Stocks lost a bit of ground a day after closing at record highs. The Dow Jones Industrials fell 124 points to close at 30,179. The Nasdaq Composite dropped 9 points. The S&P 500 lost 13. Still, all three indexes recorded weekly gains, led by the Nasdaq, which added 3%. Markets struggled as congressional stimulus talks dragged on. Top Republicans and Democrats have been closing in on a coronavirus relief package that would aid consumers and businesses as well as fund distribution of a COVID-19 vaccine. Shares of Moderna lost 2.6% ahead of the expected approval of its COVID shot. The Food and Drug Administration may issue an emergency authorization by this evening after an advisory panel recommended its approval. And Tesla stock bucked the broader market decline, rising 6% ahead of its inclusion in the S&P 500 on Monday. Dozens of index funds that track the S&P were scrambling to purchase billions of dollars of Tesla stock in order to follow the index as closely as possible.
China is likely to extend its emergency vaccination program to more people at high risk of infection. That comes as officials there report no serious problems with domestically produced vaccines.
China has administered more than 1 million emergency doses. No serious adverse reactions have been detected so far.
The emergency vaccination program kicked off in July, targeting at-risk groups such as medical workers. It's using 3 different vaccines developed by state-owned Sinopharm and pharmaceutical company Sinovac Biotech. They are among 5 Chinese vaccines in the final stages of clinical testing outside the country. The government says it's not yet ready to approve them for the general public within China. A senior official says the vaccination program will likely be extended to other vulnerable people, such as food market and public transport workers. People in Italy are facing Christmas and New Year under lockdown. The government is tightening COVID restrictions across the country for around 2 weeks from December 24th.
It's a painful decision to strengthen the regime of measures necessary for the upcoming holidays.
The Prime Minister says shops and restaurants will be closed apart from takeout and delivery services. Visits to other people's homes will be restricted to up to 2 adults. Children under the age of 14 will be allowed to join them. But there will be some respite. Measures will be loosened from December 28th through 30th and on January 4th. People will be able to move around within municipalities at those times, and shops will be allowed to open. New cases in the country have been hovering at around 18,000 a day. Italy has now overtaken Britain as the European country with the most coronavirus deaths, with a toll approaching 70,000. Other nations in Europe, including Britain and Germany, are also tightening restrictions over the holiday season. A fire at a hospital in Turkey has left 9 coronavirus patients dead. The incident occurred on Saturday in the southeastern city of Gaziantep. Authorities say an oxygen inhaler caught fire and caused an explosion in a university hospital's intensive care unit. The blaze was put out quickly, but 9 of the 19 coronavirus patients being treated there were killed. Most of the victims were over the age of 60. Data from Johns Hopkins University shows the number of new daily cases in Turkey exceeded 25,000 on Friday. That was the 6th highest tally recorded in the world. Non-essential and non-urgent outings have been banned in the nation to contain the spread of the virus. The United States has put Chinese drone maker DJI on its trade blacklist. The move appears to be aimed at ramping up pressure on China's companies. The U.S. Commerce Department announced on Friday it had added to the list 77 firms and affiliates. The world's largest drone company was among them. The list effectively prohibits the acquisition of goods that use U.S. technology. The department says DJI's products have enabled the Chinese government to commit human rights abuses, such as the surveillance of citizens. Shenzhen-based DJI's share of the global consumer drone market is estimated to be about 70%. The listing is expected to affect the firm's ability to acquire parts that use U.S. technology. Other newly listed companies include Beijing's top chipmaker, the Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, and firms involved in the construction of artificial islands in the South China Sea. More than 300 boys in Nigeria have been reunited with their families after being abducted from their school last week. The students were bused back to the northern city of Katsina. Relatives were waiting there to meet them. Many family members openly expressed relief. Armed assailants stormed the school on December 11th and kidnapped the boys. The Islamic extremist group Boko Haram claimed responsibility for the abductions. Local government officials announced on Thursday 344 students had been rescued. Media outlets in the country say details of the rescue have not been revealed, including how it was carried out and whether ransom money was paid. In Japan, the spread of the virus is showing no signs of letting up. About 3,000 infections were reported across the country on Saturday, with nearly 600 people in serious condition. In Tokyo, officials reported 736 new cases, the second highest to date. Amid the turmoil, a move is underway to help people in the capital who are struggling. A support group consisting of a labor union and NPOs has provided consultations to people who have lost their jobs or had pay cuts because of the coronavirus pandemic.
I've been looking for a job since January. I've missed some opportunities to get work because of the coronavirus.
At a counter set up exclusively for women, female staff were on hand to offer advice.
I would like those in need of help to seize this opportunity. There must be a way out.
Free rice balls and fruit were handed out in the morning and afternoon, enough for about 400 people. The group will continue providing the consultation service during the coming New Year period. An event has been held to promote the rice harvest in a coastal area of the town of Namie in Fukushima Prefecture. This year's harvest was the first since the 2011 tsunami and accident at the nearby nuclear power plant. 50 bags of rice, each containing 2 kilograms of the grain, went on sale at a roadside rest area. It has been renamed Namie's Reconstruction Rice. The rice has cleared safety tests.
I feel like my hometown will disappear if rice cultivation is cut off. I want to support them.
An evacuation order for the town's coastal area was lifted 3 years ago, but the restoration of farmland took longer. An agricultural company planted 24 hectares of rice in paddies. In October, as the rice ripened, students from Tokyo University of Agriculture, who have been working with the town to revive the agriculture industry, helped with the harvest.
It took 10 years to resume farming. Such a long time. It's really great to finally harvest rice after all these years.
The head of the agricultural firm says he is happy to take the first step, and he wants to get more paddies in production as the land becomes usable again. Weather officials in Japan are warning of more heavy snow this weekend across many mountainous areas and the side of the country facing the Japan Sea. A strong cold air mass brought record snowfall this week to elevated parts of Niigata and neighboring Gunma prefectures. Blizzards trapped more than 2,000 vehicles for many hours on an expressway. Emergency crews helped clear all stranded cars by early Saturday. About 80 centimeters of snow is expected in Niigata and the north of the Kanto region during the 24 hours through Sunday evening. Authorities are cautioning against possible traffic disruptions. In Yamagata Prefecture, an 88-year-old woman was found buried in snow near her house. She was later confirmed dead.